target of $5 billion in non-traditional exports while creating sustainable livelihoods for thousands of farmers and workers in major trading currencies. If we work together, His Excellency, and drive our exports, we can sustain and stabilize the cedi and drive macroeconomic gains. The opportunity before us is limitless. With your administration visionary policies, particularly the 24-hour economy initiative, test-proven capabilities and commitment to excellence, we can transform Ghana's agricultural landscape and establish our nation as a continent premier agricultural export hub. We must treat Ghana as a large agro-industrial enclave and apply industrial ecology principles to create maximum value. Though through proper product and raw material mapping, life cycle assessment of products and value chains, the strategic industrial linkages, in conclusion, Your Excellency, the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters stands ready to work hand in hand with your administration in realizing our shared vision for agricultural transformation and export. We believe that with the right innovations, transformative approaches, sustainable practices, efficient policy implementation, and strategic infrastructure investment, Ghana can achieve remarkable growth in the global agricultural market. The time for action is now. Let us move beyond rhetoric to practical implementation. Let us position Ghana not just as a producer of raw materials, but as a value-adding processing and exporting powerhouse and leadership as we work together to showcase Ghana's export excellence to the world, create lasting value for our economy, and build a prosperous future for all Ghanaians. Your Excellency, we are confident that with your visionary leadership, strategic policy support, and our collective commitment to excellence, Ghana will emerge as Africa's undisputed leader in agricultural exports and agro-processing. Let me take this opportunity to thank Honorable Chief of Staff for working with us behind the scene on the presidential initiatives. It's rather unfortunate. And we once again extend our warm invitation to you to serve as the special guest and deliver the keynote address at the upcoming Ghana Horticulture Expo on June 11, 2025. We expect to host 200 exhibitors and over 3,000 trade visitors from across the globe. Thank you for your time and attention. May God bless us all.
Thank you very, very much for that detailed delivery. Your Excellency, there is no doubt that FAGE is a critical player in the execution of your 24-hour economy and promoting Ghanaian products abroad. With that in mind, Your Excellency, may I now invite the Chief Executive of Ghana Export Promotion Authority, in the person of Francis Kojo Arthur Esquire, to make a brief intervention ahead of His Excellency.
Your Excellency, Honorable Chief of Staff, Honorable Executive Secretary to the President, my sister, Honorable Joyce Bauer, and my senior colleague, Honorable Mrs. H, Honorable Nana Oye. Your Excellency, fortunately for me, I don't have a speech to inflict on you. But just to reiterate the potentials of the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters. Your Excellency, I am proud to report to you that in February of 2025, after the Fruit Logistica Fair in Berlin, a company in Morocco ordered $24 million of Ghana mango. And by the time the team left Berlin to Accra, that company has moved over 50 trucks across the Sahara to load their own mango from Ghana back to Casablanca. Your Excellency, this interesting development is against the backdrop that it takes over 60 days to move products from Accra to Nairobi. My office, that's the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, is working closely with the AFTA Secretariat to see how we can develop and improve transportation of goods and services across the West African and African continent. Your Excellency, I wouldn't take much of your time, but to reiterate and affirm the invitation of the Federation of Association of... Thank you, Your Excellency.
CEO, Ghana Export. Right. Shall we welcome His Excellency the President to deliver his message?
Thank you. Oh, sit down, sit down. Thank you very much. Let me say that this meeting is long overdue. Indeed, you are the first to Ghana's economy. You are the ones who bring the dollars in. And so we have to give you pride of place in terms of facilitating your businesses. And so I'm happy that we're meeting today. You are key partners in us being able to achieve our economic objectives under the 24-hour economy policy. And as you are aware, we inaugurated the Accelerated Export Development Advisory Committee, which I'm chairing personally. And I'm sure that FAGE is represented on that. You are the representative. Okay. So we'll hold meetings regularly, and we'll have the opportunity to discuss the bottlenecks that affect your businesses at the highest level, because I'll chair it personally, and I'm in those meetings and reports to ensure that whatever we've said they should do happens, so that it makes to implement the National Exports Development Strategy, so that Ghana can become a net exporter instead of an importer. Recently, we presented a budget in March, and the budget was meant to bring the macroeconomy back on track, reversing a negative 3.9 primary balance to a positive 1.5 primary balance by the end of the year. Has been one of the main targets of the budget. So it's reined in a lot of government expenditure in order that we can bring the deficit down and create an environment that is conducive to business. Happily, the economy is responding quite positively to the budget, and you can see it in the appreciation of the cedi, the reduction in the deficit, and general macroeconomic stability, return of investor confidence, and all that. And so I can assure you that in managing the economy together with the Minister of Finance, the Governor of the bank, you can count on us to make sure that we manage the economy properly. Because if we don't, it affects your businesses. When the economy goes out of gear, it affects your businesses directly. And so I can assure you that we on investments would keep your businesses going. The recent appreciation in the value thing and the dollar depreciated, with our A-level economics, we all know that it's a balance what's more expensive. And so there must be a fair balance to try and achieve the true value of the cedi. Some people say, oh, it will come down to 4. But of course, we know the true value of the cedi is not 4. And if it went as far down as 4, it will kill all your export businesses. And so myself, the governor, and the finance minister met and discussed it. And they think that the real has brought it to just above 10, and it appears to have stabilized there. So I think that going forward, anything between 10, 11, and 12 as a band where the CD operates will be a fair value, both to encourage our exports, but at the same time not make imports so cheap that importers will flood our markets with toothpicks and, you know, biscuits and coconut and all those kinds. Then the advantage you also have is raw materials can be cheaper. Fuel has gone down, so transporting your products and all that will be cheaper. Port charges will go down. And so it has incentives for you. And at the same time, it has incentives for importers. But I'm asking the importers not to take advantage of it and flood us with all the, you know, Nkatia burger and things that we bring from outside. Let's produce them here. And at the same time, let's produce more products that people demand outside so that we have a better balance in terms of our economic growth. And so, like I said, it's both, it's an advantage for us, and we must take the opportunity. So I was happy when our speaker spoke about how you intend to take advantage of the improved economic environment. We must improve our export processes so that it makes it easier for you to be able to move your export products out. And so we'll be working closely with you to find out what the obstacles and hindrances are. And we'll work together with you to make sure that we smoothen it so that you can have a clear path to be able to export your products and be able to make Ghana's economics stronger and to do their exports. Providing pack houses, you know, for exporters to be able to pack their goods properly for the export market. Those are all things that we need to work together on. And you mentioned the issue of credit. It's important to be able to give you affordable credit so that you're able to increase your production and thereby be able to export. It's because of you that in 2016 I set up the Ghana Exim Bank. We converted EDIF to Ghana Exim. Unfortunately, if you look, I've looked at the portfolio of the credit that has been given, and you are the people that money should have been going to, not to people who just take it and buy sports cars and things like that. If you look at the list of some of those who took that money, you wonder, I mean, really, that's not, and see what your demand in terms of credit are so that we can provide that credit. And FAGE, we will sit with Ghana businesses. We also have to look at issues of standards, and so we also need to look at regulatory standards, the Food and Drugs Authority, the Ghana Standards Authority, to make sure that we are able to meet the international standards for exporting our products. And so strengthening the Ghana Standards Authority in terms of ensuring that our products are safe, you know, to be exported into other jurisdictions is something that we need to look at. I've been watching the improved performance of non-traditional exports, and I want to congratulate you. I think we've hit $3.6 billion, and I was very glad when you said in the next 2 years we'll hit $5 billion, and then in how many years? 2030 we'll hit $10 billion. That would be fantastic. And we'll start working together from today to make sure that we meet those targets. The African Continental Free Trade Area gives an opportunity for us to increase the amount of our exports to our other countries. It's been determined that Africa has the least trade amongst ourselves, and it is both because of our colonial past and also because of the export infrastructure. The export infrastructure was set up not to promote trade between ourselves, but to promote trade between us and our colonial masters. And so it's easier to ship things to London, so it gives us better facilities for our exports. And our new port is developing quite well under MPS because it allows us to create a reefer service in terms of redistributing containers across the Gulf, that is from Namibia all the way to Senegal. And so if you notice, larger vessels are coming into our port and dropping containers for other countries. And MPS partners are putting those on smaller vessels and redistributing them to Liberia, Sierra Leone. So it means that if we have exports going there, there is the facility for us to put our containers there to supply from Namibia, Angola, Cameroon, Nigeria, and other countries. And so let's take advantage of that in terms of our exports. As you said, Ghana is strategically located, and so we must take advantage of our strategic location. Ghana is the country closest to the middle of the world, where longitude and latitude meet. It meets just offshore Tema. And so our distance in terms of every part of the world is much of an advantage than other people who are in the far east or other people who are in the far west. And so it means that it's something we can take advantage of. If we pack our produce, within 6 hours we can have them in the European markets. You know, within 8 hours we can have them in the Middle Eastern markets. And within 9 hours we can have them in the American markets. That's an advantage. I mean, other people have to share. So I'll ask you to take advantage of that. Under the 24-hour economic policy, we're developing what we call the Volta Lake Economic Zone. When our first president built the Akosombo Hydroelectric Dam, electricity was just one component of that particular project. The other component was to use the water of the lake to create Ghana into an agribusiness and agricultural hub of not only our nation, but also of West Africa. And there are billions of cubic feet of water in that lake. Indeed, it's said to be the largest man-made lake. And there are hundreds. I think the time has come to take advantage of that. Draw electricity to that side of the lake, construct roads there. Already there's the design for an inland port on the other side of the lake where we took the railway line from Tema to Mpakadang, and then create a special economic export processing zone on that side so that you can produce your peppers, you can produce your pineapples, you can produce your mangoes and everything, bring them into the port, put them on the train, and the train will bring them straight to Tema and get them ready for export. And so the opportunities exist for that. We are doing the design and the planning, and when the time comes, we will invite you to be together so that we cut short for the beginning of the Volta Lake Economic Zone project. I know that, I mean, if we support you and expand your businesses, we'll be able to create hundreds of thousands of jobs for our young people, so that our young people don't have to take the risky journey across the desert and the Mediterranean to be able to reach Europe, because they'll be able to find jobs here. Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, I've been following the issue of the development of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. I believe that this will revolutionize African trade, because it will allow us to trade amongst ourselves seamlessly without the border of having to change our currencies into other people's currencies before making payments. And so Ghana is one of that's possible so that we can take advantage of it. I've taken note of your complaint about being removed on the boards of GEPA. GEPA, that's a sad mistake. How can FAGE not be on the GEPA board? I thought it was institutional representation. And if it is, then FAGE should be there. Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. And then also look at Ghana Exim. Ghana Exim is also institutional, so we'll take a look at that and make a correction that has occurred. Because I'm in the agricultural space myself, not as an exporter, but I'm contributing to Ghana's food security as a producer. I have a farm where I produce maize and soya bean. And then I also have a farm for livestock, goats and cows. And then I have a small cocoa. So you can be sure that on 11th June, I will put it on my diary and make sure that I'm here My secretary is looking at me, but I'll ask him to prioritize it, and make sure that I'm able to join you for the expo. And so thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Another round of applause, please. Very inspiring words, and we are gearing towards action and towards implementation. This brings to an end this fruitful deliberation. I want to thank you very much for coming. We'll meet at the foyer for a group photograph. So thank you very much and have a good afternoon. Thank you. So thank you very much and have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Singing Safari.